Okay, guys, welcome to the Lobo podcast. On this episode, we have Kristin Carnes. Now, Kristin grew up in, do you guys know where I'm from? She grew up there, Waukegan, Illinois, guys. Yeah, I grew up in Waukegan. I went to Waukegan High School. So did she, but she does now live in Indiana. Actually, we talk a little bit about some a disaster show. And I had Indiana and some Indiana comedy that we'll talk about that. But anyways, talk about that. We talk about lately. I swear, dude, my last few shows, I turn around, I look up, there's a cop in the audience, and I just finished talking about cocaine and probably prostitutes. So that's kind of weird. So Kristin, actually, we talk about some few things. Like she was in Guatemala for a year, right, for school in her 20s, and she was like a god there. Yeah, she was a Guatemalan 10. All the dudes, were in love with her, blonde hair, blue eyes. So she was killing it in Guatemala, but she did learn in Guatemala that us Latinos do not like to wear condoms. Yeah, one guy refused to have sex with her because she asked him for a condom. He's like, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, raw dog only, Latino style. We talk about my one sex a month rule that I'm kind of working with right now. I'm trying out. Talk about some reverse we talk a little bit about, some stuff about integration, how the schools in Waukegan were segregated, how they got bused. Talk about that a little bit, and this crazy boyfriend she had in high school where one time he got wasted and the dad saw him naked. We'll get into that, and how the parents tried to break him up. That was kind of funny. We do talk about, I think, 3 different occasions where I had handicap sex. One was cystic fibrosis, one was a Renaissance fair injury, and one was somebody in crutches from a motorcycle accident. But yeah, so Kristin, she's a little bit more mature. She did start comedy in her 40s, right? She was into it since she was in her 20s, but I remember she was going to a wedding. Some white dude told her something like, I've heard Funnier. So there was a little bit of, life came along, so there was a little delay. But I started late too. I think I started like in my late 20s, early 30s. I'm 35 now. But yeah, talk about the Lakehurst this is for you Waukegan nights, the Lakehurst Mall. I talk about how I used to go get Jinko jeans and how I used to wear Speedos. My mom would dress me. Anyways, I'm going to put the plugs and the links where she has some shows coming up, and I got some shows coming up. She's going to be opening for Chris Kattan, and follow her on Twitter, Kristin Carnes for you Latinos. So Kristin, Kristin, Carnes, 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 the number 2 on Twitter. I'll put all my other plugs up. And yeah, welcome to the Lobo Den. Started. Okay, welcome to Lobo Den podcast. That we have Kristin Carnes, right?
Yep, Kristin. That's it. Or Carnes, however you want to say it, Giovanni.
Oh yeah, Kristin, you're married to a Mexican dude. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no.
You're not?
No, that's my name. That's my name. I didn't take my husband's name.
Oh, you didn't? Well, he has like a...
Sitso. It's a Hungarian name with all the Z's in it.
So he's like Hungarian, what?
Italian.
His parents were immigrants to Mexico, or?
No, he's not Mexican at all. He's Italian and Hungarian.
Oh, why did I have in my head you were married to a Mexican dude?
Well, I've slept with some.
Oh, you slept with some. Did you have a bit about that or something?
Yeah, I had a bit about speaking Spanish because I did a Mexican guy.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought your husband was Mexican. No, I was a Mexican dude you slept with. So we have Kristin Carnes. Now, Kristin, you live now in West Lafayette. Where is West Lafayette? Indiana, right?
Indiana. Yeah, it's about an hour northwest of Indy.
Northwest.
It's really close to the Illinois border, in the middle of nowhere.
How far are you from Gary? That's what I know of Indiana.
Hour and a half from Gary?
South of Gary?
Yeah, south.
But you grew up, so you grew up in Waukegan, Illinois. I didn't even start recording this, but I'll start. I mean the video.
The video, great.
That's fine. Well, tell me about Waukegan while I go set this up.
Oh, like you don't know, but
growing up.
Back in my day, I mean, I loved growing up in Waukegan. We had a blast. High school, we were pretty much out of control. We used to head over to North Chicago. There was this liquor store on Sheridan.
No Go. That's what we call it now. You didn't call it back? That's what I call it now.
No. We just called it North Chicago, and we went to a liquor store in Sheridan. We'd forge our traffic tickets to get served.
Guess what? We're not doing video.
That's fine. No video. I'm better on not on video.
Okay. Anyways.
And we used to go there, and that's where we'd buy our booze in high school and hang out down at the beach, down at Commonwealth. Did you ever go down at Commonwealth?
Where's Commonwealth at?
Commonwealth Edison, the closed down. It's straight down Greenwood Avenue. You take Greenwood Avenue and keep going
Where you see
down.
the smokestacks at?
Yeah, like by Johns Mansville.
Okay. Yeah,
People fish down there and stuff because the water's warmer or something, and we'd go down there and get free booze off the Navy
It's not
squids.
open anymore? Don't they have the smokestacks
Some of
coming
it's
out?
some of that stuff's closed down. I don't know what's open down there. But
Okay.
we'd booze it up down there and in cars and at people's houses. I don't know. Did you party a lot in high school? Because we sure did.
No, I didn't. Well, I personally didn't start drinking till I was 21 or 20 kind of. I didn't drink. I didn't like alcohol.
Wow.
Well, my dad would offer me alcohol and beer when I was a kid, but I wouldn't take it. So I would just because I thought it was like he offered me beer once, right, or something, and I just tasted it. I was like, this is nasty.
Yeah.
And I like it. So I was like, it didn't make sense to me. I'd rather drink Coca-Cola. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At that point.
Yeah.
No, I became a drunk at one point. Up until maybe like a little bit ago, I was a heavy drinker.
Oh.
So yeah, like I was at a club on a fake ID. It was called Bacchus. It was over in the like in Lincoln Park area.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was in Lincoln Park area. I was at a club, and I just looked at everybody. Everybody's like, this is. It didn't make sense to me. Like, this is stupid. What are these people doing?
Mm-hmm.
They're just, I don't know. I didn't get it. And I had a drink. Didn't hit me. I think it was like a Long Island. One of my. And I was 20, but I had my buddy's ID, anyways, who looked nothing like me.
Yeah.
So then I'm drinking, right? And now it was the second Long Island. It hits,
Mm-hmm.
and it hits me, and then I look around, and I'm like, I get it. I remember that moment. I was like, I get it. Oh my God, I love this. This is the best. And then I just, then I drank every day. Not every day, but basically Wednesday through Sundays, I think we went out. But I was going to college. I was whatever, because I went to college locally.
You went to Lake Forest,
I went
right?
to Lake Forest College. Didn't you go to Lake Forest?
Lake Forest College.
Did you go to Lake Forest College?
Psh, come on, dude. I didn't go to private college. I went to Illinois State.
Oh, is that Slukey's?
No,
I'm
that's
so
Southern.
wrong.
It's
Oh.
the Redbirds. Peck you to death.
Where's Illinois State at?
Normal, Illinois.
Oh, I've been to that area, right?
Yeah.
I've been to Mason or whatever. Mason.
I never hung out anywhere outside of campus.
No, that's
nothing.
You're like 20 minutes from that area. I went to do a show for free. I
God.
didn't know it was free. That's like 4 hours away. Mason. It looked like Mason city limits, and I was like.
So how did it go?
And it went well, but it was like I thought it was more from the pictures. It looked more like a club.
Yeah.
What's his name? Golovalek? I forgot. Maybe I'll tag him. He still runs it. I messaged him the other day. He used to come up to Riddles, but I thought it was more like, and it was not bad, but it was like not for a 4-hour drive. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and for no pay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we getting paid? I thought.
But it was a rural crowd.
It was.
Have you done many shows in rural towns? Because that's
Wisconsin. Well, look, you live in Indiana.
I just did one like last week, and it was rough.
Indiana is. I don't know what it is about. Like, look, I do shows in little towns of Wisconsin. Everybody's nice. Illinois is hit or miss. The times I've done shows in Indiana, like I did one show in Indiana. I don't know what it was. Jordan Hart used to host it. Two bartenders quit that night.
Oh.
The owner was heckling all of us the whole time. The owner was drunk, heckling all the
yelling "you suck" or something like that, or
we're like kind of stuff like
Wow.
that, yeah, kind of. And then at one point, let's see, the owner, and at one point I remember I went up there and I was trying to save it, so I started roasting the owner, right? Because Jordan, the host, he was a little nerdy guy, and he did. I mean, he got his paid at the end. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
cool.
He went up, he went to get the money because the owner was the one who was paying us, and he's the one who was heckling, and he was drunk. I remember at the end of the night, he went up to Jordan. He looked at him. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've been going through a lot, or I've been going through things." Or something. That's all he said. And then I don't know, because he just got wasted. But I remember one time I looked over at the owner, and I was roasting him, and his friend, this big fat Italian-looking dude, goes up to me on stage. He's like, "Hey, you say one more thing about what's his name, I'm gonna punch you in the face," right? And at that point, I didn't care. And I was like, at that point, I said it, to the rest of the audience, because this side of the room was all paying attention, and they were there for the comedy.
one side was, yeah.
And they wanted to hear it. So he looks at me, and he's like, I tell the audience, like, "Hey, this guy right here just said, if I make fun of what, he's going to punch me in the face." Everybody in the audience kind of yelled at that guy or something like that. Because at that point, and I told him straight, I was on stage like, "Look, man, you can do whatever. You can punch me, you can swing him, you can do whatever you want, but I'm finishing my fucking time," is what I told him. I wasn't in the mood. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wasn't, it was just like, Indiana, right? And you could smoke in there. I remember there's a sign.
Yeah, you can still. At the place I was at, they had a little smoking room. That is weird.
You were just.
I was in Huntington, Indiana.
Oh, is this the place you were just
which
telling
is
me about?
outside of Fort Wayne, and I got paid, so it was a great show that way. The guys I was on with, really nice guys, and the people were super nice. But I just, man, I was not flowing, and they were not. You realize you really have to figure out your audience beforehand and what they're going to appreciate. And like I did a joke about still being a mother because I have cats, and this guy in the front row just goes, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay, you're not going with, the joke aspect of this. Okay."
He's just yelled no at you.
Yeah, he just pointed at me and went, "No." And then I was talking about something.
How do you look? How did this guy look?
He was older than me even. There was a bunch of older people, and they were drunk off their asses. I mean, just wasted. My entire set, they kept talking at me. Like commenting on a joke, adding their own little thing to it. Oh, yeah, me too, but this and that. And it was weird.
That kind of happened. Well, yesterday I did the Shaker show. So to the right, there was a group of, they were kind of drunk. There were these chicks. They were kind of drunk. They, what did they do? Oh, it's because one of the ladies just quit. She works there for 20 years, and it was her going away party or
from
something
Shakers?
Like that. No, from whatever. They didn't want to tell me where they worked. They're like, oh, it's confidential. But I was like, look, you're not cops, right? Right. That's all I was confirmed because I had, I wanted to do like a cocaine joke, right? And then the last two times, I swear, man, there's been I was at. You ever go to? So you've never been to Cigars, right? Cigars and Straps in Berwyn?
No,
okay.
I haven't been to a bunch of Chicago places at all, unfortunately.
But I was there, and then at the end of my set, I looked to the right. There's a Cook County sheriff who's getting food there. And then I was like, didn't I just talk about cocaine and like all these illegal things? It's more the cocaine thing. Like I didn't want him to search me. In my head.
I was going to say, if you had shit in your car, it'd be
in my pocket. So I had it on me, right? So I was like, fuck, I got to get the hell. Like, it's on me. So I was like, and they happened to me at this award show called The Burbies. They have, it's like a little Christmas party.
Matt Drufke and them do that.
And them. They have a little award show. And I remember, so this podcast got nominated, and they were bringing it up. The host, he was like, I never heard his podcast, but if I know anything about Giovanni, it's probably about cocaine and strippers. And I'm looking, and there's a cop who has been sitting there for 5 minutes just watching the show, just checking it out. And I was like, dude, and that's the one moment I thought, I hope I don't win, right? I hope, because if I win, I come on right after the guy's watching me. And he was like, in my head, he's going to be like, because he's a cop. Technically, he can't do anything, but technically he can do what he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
At the end of the day. So I was like, I just hope, I hope he doesn't search me. But no, that was clear. So it was clear with the ladies. And then, but one of the ladies was a little bit, I think she was Mexican or something. She was a little talkative. Yesterday, but they weren't too bad. But like the rural shows, Indiana, that was hell. Wisconsin, everybody's nice. Illinois is hit or miss in the rural ones. But what you were saying about the knowing your audience, I don't know what you do now, but what I do is I think about where I'm going, and I put a general sort of set list together. Sometimes, sort of, especially if it's longer than 20 minutes, for sure, right? But it's between like 10, maybe up to 15. I almost don't put anything. I'd like to, and there's a few where I want to work out. Maybe on the way over there, I like to go over the jokes, especially I haven't done it in a while because I'm doing mics, so I'm doing newer material. But I sit down and I just look at everybody, right? And then I look at everybody, and then I get a vibe from them. Then I put a set list together.
Wow.
And then sometimes I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait for a few comics to go and just kind of feel it out, and then I might change some things. But that's what I kind of do now. I just look, I sit down, because sometimes you'll have something ready, and then it's like, this is not
going to work.
This is not the right audience. You know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll go up, certain, like them, they were a little bit interactive. So I was like, I'm going to talk to them a little bit. Like sometimes I feel like I can't go straight into material.
Yeah.
Like there's certain places, that's what you need to do. You got like Zanies. I got that spot. I'm going there. You got 6 minutes. They're tight. I'm going. Most likely, I'm just going straight and just keeping it tight and clean. But certain rooms, it's like the bar shows that we do.
Yeah, you got to interact with people a lot of times. But the whole thing is, I always ask about the demographics in advance just to know. Like for instance, I do a bit about living in Guatemala.
Oh, Guatemala.
And it worked great in Indy, but in rural Indiana, they wouldn't even know where's
Guatemala at?
Yeah, where would that Guatemala?
Guatemala?
Is that part of Mexico? Like they would totally not get it.
What were you doing in Guatemala?
I lived there for a year to learn Spanish and to work.
Oh, okay. What were you doing? What kind of work were you doing?
I worked at the school where I was studying, so
okay.
I took all the students on trips around the country, and I translated conferences and organized events and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. How old were you when you went?
I was in my mid-20s.
Oh,
it was
okay.
awesome.
Well, I bet.
I talk about how I went from, being just a regular person here, and I got there and I was a hot piece of ass.
Yeah,
it was amazing. I never ever experienced that kind of attention.
You were like a god.
It was.
White. Were you always blonde? Are you blonde?
It's not real.
Okay, I don't know.
It's not real.
Were you blonde back then?
It wasn't real.
Oh,
no.
okay. It's never okay.
No, brown.
Right. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
But it wasn't even the blonde hair. It was just, I was a foot taller than every woman. And
blue eyes.
And blue eyes. And Xuxa was popular at the time in Brazil. Do you know Xuxa?
No.
You're too young for her. She was...
the blonde chick?
She was an actress in Brazil who had a kids show, supposedly, that was really for kids and their fathers.
Oh, I
Tall
think
blonde.
I
She was married to Pele
that.
for a while, I think.
This is starting to kind of... I think
she was real hot, but she had a kids show where she'd wear like little booty shorts and tall boots.
Yeah, this is starting to sound familiar.
So the little kids in villages would be like, Shusha, Shusha, come up and touch my hair, and it was wild. But the men, it was just like, it was unbelievable.
You were like a guy. You were what's it? Not winning, but you were killing it, right?
I was killing it. Of course, it wasn't. A lot of the men weren't. Oh, how do you say? Like they just couldn't handle how we would think about sex.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
How would they think about it?
Well, I had this experience with a couple guys. It was all about the conquest.
Uh-huh.
And once they got there, then they just lost interest. And it was just a different. It was just different, and the attitude about using birth control was different. Like they didn't want to use.
Doesn't exist.
They didn't want to use
attitude?
condoms.
Latinos don't use condoms. No.
I mean, one dude actually said no to sex because of a condom.
I was thinking about that recently. I was thinking about if I'm gonna have sex with somebody recently and I have to use a condom with it. I just might. I was actually.
You might not.
I might just say no. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just Latinos don't like condoms. I hate them. I hate them so much. So it's like, and I was thinking about it. There's twofold to that. There's I hate condoms. All Latinos do. That's why there's so many of us. B, and I was thinking about this, and I don't. It's an old Sam Kinison bit where he talks about not wearing a condom. He's like, why would he's railing against condom, and he's like, why? Basically, it's like, why would you sleep if you have to wear a condom with somebody? Why would you sleep with them? And what I'm saying, it's like it's quality,
that attitude.
Or no, it's almost like if you're not really into that person, or like. You know what I mean?
Is it really worth it?
Like, is it really worth it? So maybe because me, like, I make bad decisions with women. In the rest of my life, I'm very, like I said, I have a full-time job. I do all
real
this
job.
stuff. Yeah, and then, but when it comes to women, that's where that's where I mess up. That's my downfall.
Do we need to have a Dr. Phil moment here and analyze what's going on with you?
I don't know what's going on. It's very confusing. Like, I have no idea. But lately, since I've been so busy, when I got back from, I'm recording with you, right?
Yeah.
And when I leave here, I got to go to this, maybe go home and do some notes, and I got to go record in the city with this girl. But we're doing ecstasy though. We're gonna do ecstasy.
Ecstasy before the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, you better bring a condom with you too.
No, she's a comic. I can't sleep with any comedians.
Oh, please! Like, really?
No, that's a rule. That's a rule I have.
That's your rule.
That's my rule. When I slept with like one comic and I messed around with one, but that's like my first year or two, and I cut it out
because you don't want to be part of their bits.
No, I feel like
we're just all crazy.
I feel like there's no upside to it. Like, what if it doesn't end good? Well, I can't think of the word. And then, you know what I mean? It doesn't end. I can't think of the word. Whatever. It doesn't end
end in knocking boots? Is that the motion you were doing with your hands?
No, I did two fists together. That doesn't make any.
Well, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
But basically, if it doesn't end well, right, and then another person doesn't like me, now they're talking shit about me to other comics, to bookers.
They will.
Oh, blah, blah.
They will.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, it doesn't work out, and all of a sudden, like, oh, that guy's an asshole. Okay, now this booker's not going to book me. Because it doesn't take much for somebody not to book you. You know what I mean?
I guess it's like don't shit where you eat.
You don't. It's just work.
Yeah.
I consider it work. You know, it's work.
Yeah.
It's my. So I don't. It's like. Okay. I try not to drink too much around certain comics either. Actually, I don't drink anymore.
I don't want to drink that much around comics at all. No.
Do you drink a lot?
I have been known to
drink wine
heavily
or-
partake.
I'm asking
Oh, you're
'cause
looking
you're
at me,
white.
middle-aged white woman. You're
Or
like,
white
you
woman,
must
or
drink
white-
wine.
Even-
Rosé.
Or like at a certain, like the girls I talk to, like now they're
Oh, the
whining.
goddamn White Claw. I couldn't believe it. I saw these chicks at
Do
a
you
show
like it?
Wednesday, and they're like, they have White Claw. Oh, I don't like the black cherry. I want the mango. I'm not going to drink it if there's only black cherry.
Isn't it BYOB?
No, I meant Wednesday night. When I was in Indy, I went to a show.
Okay.
And it was just, yeah, it was BYOB last night. But you know what they brought? This is hilarious. Ryan brought Blatt's beer.
Ryan Mason, right?
Yeah. He brought Blatt's beer.
Blatt's,
His
that's
wife
totally
works in the
more.
building or something. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's great. And we're all like, wow, this. I drank 2 of them.
Did
so
you
I can't.
have them? I've never had
Oh, I
them.
drank too fast and I didn't have any food in my stomach. So I felt the buzz.
Oh, that happened.
But
to
I woke
me.
up feeling like shit today, let me
Blatt.
tell you. We went out to that distillery brewery, you know, the Nightshade and Dark Pandemonium or whatever it's called.
Where's
Have you
this
been there?
at?
It's right downtown Waukegan.
This is new then.
Yeah, it
right?
opened up back in October. It's really nice.
Oh,
so
wow.
half of it's a distillery, and I had a gin and tonic, and then the other half is a brewery. It's
Gin and-
beautiful. It's
How'd-
right where the old YMCA is. Oh, yeah, that was before your time. That
I
closed
remember
down
the
a long
Fiesta
time ago.
Palace. I used to go to that all the time. I don't-
Fiesta Palace. That sounds so Waukegan, doesn't it?
Yeah, I went to the. It was this little hall where I'd go to all these Mexican dances, and at one point I did see professional wrestling there, independent,
Yeah.
independent circuit. But the Fiesta, I have some memories at the Fiesta.
Where was that?
It's like where they have like that art gallery thing. On
They have
that.
a bunch of art galleries.
So I think actually right across from the Genesee. The Genesee
Okay.
Theater. I think it's.
Okay.
Hey, Jay Leno's coming in April. I want to
That's
go.
well, that's the night after. That's the night after the Baby Horchata show.
Oh, it is? Yeah.
because that's why we're not doing it Saturday because of Jay Leno. We knew we
Oh.
couldn't compete.
Yeah.
You want to
yeah.
go see him?
More? But yeah, I do.
Are you going to go see Bumping Mics?
I'm
Or-
thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm going to be up at Laugh Fest
I'm
in
gonna
Michigan, so I can't go to that one.
I'm gonna look at all these dates because, like I said, so I just got back from Greensboro, North Carolina. So my head is.
I did the North Carolina Comedy Festival there
I
in
liked it.
Greensboro.
I can't think of the names of the comics I did stuff with, but one of
Did
them was
you-
like Rusty.
You weren't in the festival though.
No, I just
Okay.
I went for work, and
Okay.
then Saturday I was like, I just got to I called the club ahead of time, try to get a spot.
Idiot Box.
I forgot, maybe.
Okay.
And then it was in Greensboro, and I didn't get a spot. So Saturday we're done early from dinner with work stuff, and then I go to my hotel room, and I just go on Facebook and I like Google Greensboro and
Yeah.
whatever comedy, and I see they didn't accept me to the Facebook group yet. I'm like, whatever. And then I see there's like, oh, something pops up, and there's like a little independent showcase. I was like, oh, I Google it, 6 minutes from my hotel room. I was like, oh, I get the keys from my roommate coworker for the rental. I head over there. I bring my podcast gear, but I brought this and a few portable microphones just in case I would, be able to record. Plus, I had to do the intro because I didn't have time before I left. So then I head over there, and they gave me a spot, and I got a spot at a little comic book store, and it was good. I wish I remember the names. I'll tag 'em on
Rusty.
this.
I kind of remember that name from being there a few years ago.
Yeah, Rusty. What's the name of the lesbian?
The lesbian. There's like one lesbian.
Melissa
in
Etheridge.
Greensboro.
Melissa. I think. Okay, so I think the guy was Rusty, and then Jay. I know there was 2 other ones, but then there's a few. They're all really good. And there J.D. Etheridge was the.
Oh.
We were supposed to record. Actually, I was
Okay.
supposed to record his podcast and mine, but then like he had some stuff he had to do, like some family stuff that last minute, so we didn't get to record. But it was. So I just got back. And it's like I'm like I had to catch up on work stuff. I catch up on this stuff, and I forgot why I brought this up.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But but I don't know how you do it. Like you're so busy. It's
I have
amazing.
to be busy. I feel like me. I feel I have to. This is if I got to keep myself busy. That's
Otherwise,
kinda
you're
how
gonna
I-
make bad decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't hand it. Like yeah, like yeah, exactly. That's when I get like right now. Oh, condoms, women.
Back to that.
This is where
Because you almost got laid in Greensboro.
No, I didn't even try to get like I already had sex in March. Once I have sex, I'm done for the month. You know what I mean? Like
You only need it once a month.
at this point, that's all.
Really?
Well, because it comes with so much other bad stuff in my life.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
okay.
Like
Yeah.
the booze and the women, and not so much the drugs. I don't really abuse drugs anymore. Like I'll do drugs a little bit, but I don't abuse them. I would abuse alcohol, not abuse women.
Better not abuse women, damn it. Ending this podcast right now.
This is what I issues with the women and the booze. It's been together was the worst. That's when I can go off the rails. So when I got back, I was like, man, I'm super busy. So now that's good. So now it's like I can't just hang out with anybody. So I'm sort of making better decisions with women because I don't have time to just like before. There's that bar I did that show at. Like I would hang out there a lot and then meet
women I shouldn't probably hang out with, and then spent money and nights, and then the next day I'd be hungover and I couldn't write, and it'd be a complete waste.
Booze and sleeping together doesn't go well together. I made a lot of bad decisions in my single days.
So now I only drink if I'm gonna have sex. That's it. Like if I for sure somebody's over at my house and we're drinking a girl, that's the only time I'll kind of drink. I'll have 1 or 2 drinks at certain shows or something.
Okay.
Maybe 2 max though. Maybe that. Sometimes if I'm an empty stomach, I shouldn't hit that second one.
Yes.
Because then I start feeling that.
Oh,
rush.
I'm a cheap date, man. If I'm empty stomach, 1 beer, I'm feeling it because I drink fast.
1 Blatz.
Yes, 1
Why do you
Blatz.
drink fast? I used to drink fast on purpose.
But I don't. I drink everything fast, whether it's water, alcohol. Doesn't matter what it is. I don't eat fast, but I drink everything fast.
Okay.
So I don't know why. I've just always been like that.
Were your parents not like very sparing with drinks growing up?
I don't even know. My dad was an alcoholic. Maybe that explains it. But I don't know. I've always been like that. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll drink it fast. I don't.
What are you?
What am I?
What's like your background? Like your parents are like Irish or?
I just did the 23andMe again just to get more details.
Again?
I did it years ago. Years ago, somebody gave it to me
you
or
get
something.
new DNA, or why'd you do it again?
I don't know, just to see, because they're getting much more specific and accurate.
Okay.
So it's expanded what I am. So I'm English, Irish, Scottish, German, French, and Dutch.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're white. Okay.
I'm Yes, I'm white. Okay. Hey, I live in Indiana. I'm not the whitest. I'm not Amish.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know about the Amish Indiana.
Oh, shit. They're everywhere, I guess. It's wild.
I did a podcast with JP McAllister. I don't know. He's an actor, too. I think he knows Baby Horchata. But he used to get so when he was in high school, he used to sell meth, I think. But he would get the meth from Amish DJ who used to be an ex-Amish, who's now a DJ.
Yeah.
He was an ex-Amish, and then he would sell to a lot of the Amish kids during their
Rumspringa.
Yeah. So there's a lot of Amish around. You have nice furniture.
Yeah,
from them.
Actually, we do have a bunch of Amish furniture in our house. It's amazing. But in Illinois, growing up in Waukegan, I never saw Amish people growing up.
When you grew up in Waukegan, it's before the Mexicans showed up, right?
No, we had lots of Mexicans when I grew up.
Okay.
My first crush was Francisco Sotomayor. Maybe he was Puerto Rican.
Oh God.
Him and Miguel Torres in 4th grade.
Together?
Yeah, both of them I had a crush on. I liked Latinos. I've always liked Latinos. I don't know why, but just always did it for me, Yeah. But growing up, we always had it was very diverse.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I think it was 4th grade is when integration started in Waukegan in the schools.
What do you mean integration?
Well, I know you don't know this, but back then it used to be you went to your neighborhood school.
Okay.
Like everyone went to their neighborhood school.
Oh, like busing and stuff?
Yeah. So like Waukegan still is pretty, I think, racially segregated in a lot of ways. So what they did in grade school is they started busing the kids from the south side up to where I went to school at Greenwood.
Okay. Oh, Greenwood.
Yeah. And then I was supposed to go to Benny for junior high, but they bused all us kids on the north side to Webster.
Okay.
So they did that. They didn't do anything with the high schools because I think the high schools were pretty balanced, but the junior highs and grade schools weren't.
Back then, was there two? There was Waukegan East and West,
East
right?
and West.
Was it split grades or was it just?
No, it was 4 grades in both.
Oh, okay.
See,
no.
I think that's bad because, man, those seniors, man, prey on the freshmen.
Oh, I thought you meant it's bad that they're. See, I thought it was bad that they're not together. I like. What kind of prey? Oh, they're
just like, I'm sorry, but when you're like a 14-year-old girl going into high school and you're with an 18-year-old boy, there's a huge difference in your stage in life.
Yeah.
When you're 30, 34.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
There's not, the older you get, the less the age makes the difference. But when you're 14 and you don't know squat, and then you got an 18-year-old,
oh,
it's
I didn't
a big
think about
difference.
That. See, I didn't get laid in high school, so I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
I tried, but my boyfriend was a freak.
Did I have a,
but
what do you mean a freak?
He wouldn't do it. I begged.
Oh, that type of freak.
I begged. We dated for almost 2 years. I begged.
No.
And he always came. I
was
kid
he
you not.
religious or something? Or
no,
white?
he was scared to death of getting me pregnant. Like his mom and
so he wasn't Latino or something.
No, he was totally white.
Okay,
he was white as white can be.
Okay.
Yeah. He. I don't know what it was. His mom once came over and got mad at him at my house and kneed him in the balls. I mean, she was.
Oh, you know what? She's probably super scared of his parents then. So he probably thinking about it.
It was something like he was weird though.
Kneed him in the balls. What happened that day?
I don't know. He spent so much time at my house. Like the funniest story about him and us, we had a crazy relationship. Was we went to prom, got a limo. We went down to the beach beforehand. We drank Mad Dog 2020. Have you
I
ever
know
had
those.
that?
Yeah.
He got drunk. We came back to my house to take pictures. He's got a total boner. And my dad is there like fixing his cummerbund. And I'm like, oh, fuck, don't say anything. Don't say any. And then we got in the limo, went to the dance. We danced one dance, and then he hurled all over me and all over himself.
So we had to take the dance?
Yeah, so then we took the limo back to my parents' house. My dad had to put him in the shower, like help him undress.
How much did you drink? Just a few of the Mad Dogs?
I don't even remember. We had one bottle of Mad Dog. So my dad had to like undress him in his pukey clothes and put him in the shower. He got to see my boyfriend naked before I ever did.
Yeah, before you did.
And then he slept over that night. And
how long were you guys together after that?
Almost 2 years, on and off. But it was a really screwed up. My parents broke us up at one point because it was. I'm not going to say it was abusive, but he was very emotionally manipulative.
Oh, okay.
He told me all these guys, were telling him to break up with me, and all my friends were doing this bad stuff to me, and if I went over to my friend's house, he was like freaked out about boys, if boys were there, and he'd start a fight with me to get me to come home. I mean, it was abusive. Yeah, it was close to abusive.
Is that gaslighting? I'm learning about this term. Do you know what that
means? Yes.
Okay.
He totally had me believing all this crazy shit about everybody else to isolate me.
Okay.
And it worked for a long time. Then my parents were like, you got to break up. And then he came over, and my parents were like, Kristin, go down the street. And they sat him down and told him that they were breaking us up. And all of a sudden, I'm down the street, and all of a sudden I see him running like full out. Kristin, they're trying to break us up. And he's like pissed off. And then my dad drives up in a car and he's like, Kenny, get in the car. No, fuck you. Like just, it was.
Where was this at? Is
what?
this around like?
In Buckley Hills, where I grew up.
Okay.
It was just all
Where's
out.
Buckley Hills?
North Side. It's off Sheridan Road by Glen Flora Country Club.
Okay, that area. Okay,
yeah, you go down you go down Sheridan. There's that light. It's in that neighborhood.
Yeah, right by the Part 3, I believe, at Glen Flora. I caddied there once or twice.
We're across the street from Glen Flora, but
yeah.
It was just, I mean, I've got so many stories, and all my friends now are like, I never understood your relationship. And one of my teachers was telling me to break up with him because he's a loser. My volleyball coach was all freaked out about me being with him. I mean, it was just... It took many, many months to get him out of my system.
And then, what do you know what he's up to now?
He's totally successful and married with kids.
He got his shit together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Makes a lot of money, does really well, seems happily married from what I can see, and has a couple kids. And I think he was just young and freaked out.
Yeah.
He wasn't abusive. Like, he slapped me once, but he didn't like, that was the only time he ever hit me. But, he was just emotionally insecure, and I think projected it on me, and was it was freaky.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't.
You were never into anything like that?
No, I mean, me and I can't bring her up in the podcast. So me and a girl I dated, we had this conversation. So me and a girl I dated, we were like, when I was dating her, I wasn't ready to start because remember I didn't start drinking at 20.
Yeah.
So maybe around 24, 25 for me, that was like my 21 almost. Like it was, and it was like I was just ready to start partying there. And when I met her, she was a little older than me, and then she was kind of coming down, ready to kind of more settle down.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to like
amp up.
And it was just, I wish we didn't meet at I don't know.
Just bad timing.
It was just bad timing. You know what I mean? I wish I would have known better. And so it's like, I feel bad about it. I didn't, because I fixed. Like later in life, I feel I made up for it in some ways. Like I fixed stuff at the person's house and other things, and we're not together. I don't know. It was
Are you friends with her now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
If I allegedly, because I can't talk about her on the podcast.
Have you made amends with her? Like, have you told her, "Hey, I'm sorry how I handled this"?
Many times, sort of, whatever. So sometimes
that doesn't sound very convincing.
Like because it's like, you know what I mean. And I'll talk to her about like my issues, not issues with ladies, kind of whatever. Like I said, that's where I'm confused. That's where I'm at. But I feel like I'll like talk to her. I was like, all right, I met this chick, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? So when I went to, well, who cares if they listen? But I met a girl at the comedy jam, when I did the comedy jam, right? And I started talking to a girl, which I shouldn't have. Right?
She was in the audience? Or you mean one of the comedians?
Not a comedian. I'll talk to comics. Was there, who was it? Heather?
You mean
I'm thinking of the female comics. Heather,
Liz Greenwood was
Liz
on.
Greenwood, Heather.
And Heather. And I think that was it for women, wasn't it, that night?
Because it was me, Jason Acevedo, Larry, the white dude. I forgot his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
And was Peter Lipsy there?
Yes.
Peter Lipsy, and then there
Peter's
was the
cool.
guy and the guy from Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, Rob Brackenridge, the headliner that night.
So I met a girl, and then and the messed up part is like I shouldn't have started talking to this girl. You know what I mean?
Why?
Okay, so this is basically what happened. Hopefully they don't. Well, I don't think she's gonna listen to it because she messaged me.
You don't have to say her name. I mean,
Yeah. Okay.
she'll know who it is if she listens.
They'll both. Yeah, they'll both know. They'll both know. So okay, fuck it. So that day, that show, there's a girl that I've been talking to, and they were supposed to hang out, and then finally she was like, oh, I don't know, she got a babysitter or something. She was able to hang out, so she went. She's like, but I'm gonna bring a friend with me, right?
Okay.
All right. So the two girls. So then when I saw the friend, I was like, damn, who's a friend? And
Oh,
then
you were more interested in the friend.
I was definitely more interested, but I tried not to pay attention to her. Like I'm here
Yeah.
for this person, but then the whole night I was like, fuck the friend. And then there was 4 girls that came to see me. One of them was a friend of mine. Her name is Gilma. She listens to the podcast. She was, oh fuck, she knows these girls. Whatever, Gilma, don't say anything. Anyways, so then me, Gilma. Oh, well, Gilma and those girls don't know. There's another girl who was actually
there for you too.
yeah, she was down the street at COC. I hope she's not listening. It doesn't matter. Well, she was there, and I told her, I was like, come over. But it's an audience member, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah.
She came, I saw her too, and I said hi to her, but then I was like with these other girls, so.
Did you go out after the show?
Yeah. So
Where'd you guys go?
we went to Buffalo Wild Wings, right? I was trying to get them to go to Clark's.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Really?
My friend has an issue there with them. What's your issue with them? The service
It's
sucks
just
and
a
the food's
chain.
cold.
Why go there? I mean, you had all that stuff downtown Waukegan
Well,
you could have gone
I
to.
wanted to take him to Clark's over there in Beach Park, my buddy's bar.
Yeah.
And, because what was this show, Thursday or something? It was
Yeah, it was a Thursday, so yeah.
No, but Thursday, it's packed. It's
Oh, it was
popping.
packed last night when we drove by. It was amazingly packed.
Yeah, the place like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they max it out basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, let's go. But somebody had to work, so we went to Buffalo Wild Wings. That's why. Like they wanted food. They all wanted
Okay.
food, right? I was like, well, that's fine. Let's go. So, because I'm there with the girl I'm supposed to be talking, but the other girl kind of had an attitude I liked, and she kind of had these snarky maracas, and she was attractive, right? And then the girl came up. The girl had kids. They both had kids, but she had 2 kids, right? And then there was a dude she was with, that she lived with. So she had a man.
The
So-
one that you
That I'm
were
not
original.
supposed. No.
Not
her
the one-
friend.
okay.
The one I
Okay.
originally had has a kid. She's divorced or something like that, and whatever. And I was talking, but then, I was trying to make sure I didn't give too much attention to the other
Yeah,
girl in front of
yeah,
this chick, because
yeah.
it's like I don't want to look. But at the same time, I couldn't somewhat help it. But I did start kind of talking to the girl. So she was engaged with 2 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nothing happened with her, or did it?
No, like I didn't smash. But
Okay. What about the other chick that you were supposed
I
to
kind
be
of just
there?
stopped,
Stopped.
because then I started
Okay.
talking to her friend. But I don't know if she ever knew. Like,
Okay. So nothing happened with. So basically, this story ends in
Nothing
happened.
Well, especially because we were supposed to hang out a few times, maybe allegedly, but I don't know.
So you must have had sex that month with someone else, and you got your fill, and you were like, okay, it's not a big deal.
Did I have sex? Oh yeah, so that's now did I have? I'm sure.
See, I'm living vicariously through you because I've been married too long. So it's like, tell me more.
Well, I have. This is what I do. Like I have the sex once a month thing that I started doing. It helps me because then I don't go out. I don't spend a bunch of money. And I don't have, because sometimes I realize I've only been trying to talk to girls, have sex with them, that I'm not really that into them, but I do it because it's I feel like I have to, oh man, I gotta get laid, so my friends don't make fun of me or something. But I got over that. I don't give a fuck anymore. I used to recently I was still doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, it just for that, because it was more like my friends were like, come on, now it's like, look, I don't call me whatever you want, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm busy. I have things to do. I don't have the time. So I had sex the second time with this girl. Finally, the girl I had sex with last month, because the first time it didn't work out because I did too many drugs and I couldn't get it up.
Oh,
basically.
God.
Yeah,
I
did
had that
5
happen with
drugs
a guy
that
once.
night.
It was like, what is wrong?
Cocaine? Was he does cocaine?
Yeah, he did
Yeah, it's
cocaine, and I
cocaine.
didn't realize that. And all of a sudden, I'm like, we're naked. I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, what? Do you expect me to get hard when you get naked? I'm like, yes. That's exactly what always happens. What is going on with this thing? It never worked.
No.
It was like a squeeze toy.
Yeah. That basically that's what happened to me, and I was
You got to
like,
quit the cocaine then, man. That's not worth it.
Well, what I do is I don't do as much, and if I'm gonna do cocaine, I don't do too much.
Okay.
I don't do too much, and I take a gas station dick pill. Good morning. I mean, I should probably get those other pills, like the ones online, but I just get the Good Morning Gas Station Dig pill. I've tried some other ones. I bought one the other day because it has a wolf on it, a Lobo. I don't know. I just bought it to just to have it because I don't know.
You're too young to need that stuff.
Yeah, if I don't do cocaine, it's fine. But if I do
cocaine, then
no. What am I gonna not?
You got your priorities straight.
Yeah, but no. So now, too many drugs, and the second time, I found out she was handicapped.
Oh, no. Is this a Theo Vaughn story?
No, this is a Giovanni Diaz story.
Because Theo Vaughn has a story about hooking up with someone on Tinder where he shows up and she's in bed already and he's thinking awesome and he gets in bed and she's like missing a leg or something like that.
Oh, no. So in my past, I've had sex with a lady before who had cystic fibrosis and had a thing on her stomach. I don't know what it was, like maybe a colostomy bag. I didn't really try to look. This is a few years ago, yeah.
And she didn't tell you beforehand?
I know she had cystic fibrosis, but she didn't tell me about.
That's your lungs, though.
Yeah.
So I wonder what.
I don't know. I think it was because
obviously we're not doctors on this podcast.
I looked away because she came over to my friend's house, and then this was kind of shitty. Then I said I was leaving because we parked behind my friend's property, and then I said I was here in Waukegan, and I said I was leaving. Actually, Beach Park. Sorry, I said I was leaving, and then so I pulled away, drove down, block down, watched which way she went. I went the other way. I parked my car.
And you came back to the party.
Oh, yeah.
So you did not have sex with her?
This is after we had sex.
Oh, so you had sex in the car.
In my mom's car.
That's
my
nice.
Grand Vitara. I think it's Suzuki she had at the time.
Nice.
Because I didn't have, for a few years, that's the only place. I lived with my mom, my sisters, and then I had nowhere to have sex unless they went on vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But otherwise, it was car. It was all car sex for a few years.
My brother took one of my best friend's virginity in my parents' bed. Which she was in high school. I'm like, he's a hero. Think about that. How did he talk her into that for her first time to say, this is romantic. We're going to do it in my parents' bed.
Did she know?
Oh, she knew it was my parents' bedroom.
Yeah, obviously.
She was good friends with my parents. She called my parents by their first names.
Oh, wow. Maybe it excited her a little bit.
But
virginity.
That's just gross. I don't know how he did it. But anyway, so you had sex with her. You went back to the party.
So
she, oh, man.
I don't
that
know
must
what
have been
she
weird.
had. I met her on MySpace. This was during the MySpace days. And
see, I never did MySpace.
And then I had sex with a girl in crutches once.
Why was she on crutches?
She got a motorcycle accident that day. She dropped the motorcycle. And then she came over to my house when I was staying at my buddy's house in Zion. Yeah, so these are not Theo Vaughn stories.
So she was a real trooper for having sex after a motorcycle
accident. I couldn't
accident.
believe it. Like, so this is a girl I met on Plenty of Fish, right? And then I love her because she would come to shows. You know what I mean? And now it's like, that's huge. You know what I mean? Like, so even if I didn't want to have sex with her, I would say,
you had to.
I
would. You had to do it.
Yeah, that's what I told my friends. I was like, for sure. She came to a show in Chicago once. All I did was send the invite. I didn't message her. I just sent it.
Wow.
And then she was there, and I was like, but that night I didn't have sex with her. I actually had sex with a prostitute. But that's a whole different thing. Anyways, I know. I used to be a John. But look, I messaged her to come over, right? You know, and she pulls up to the house. Me and my friend are drinking in the front porch in Zion. And then,
because that's what you do in Zion.
Yeah. This summer, that's kind of what we did. Yeah, we had a couch out there.
Oh God,
we had a couch out there. Yeah, people, they don't bother you.
Yeah,
that part of Zion. That's like on 29. I forgot.
They got more important things to worry about in Zion
especially
than
that part. That's like the ghetto part of Zion, and it's pretty ghetto, that part. You know what I mean? It gets pretty violent there. Like, there was a shooting. The cops came to our house because we gave them video of a shooting that was like we caught on our cameras. Yeah. So they came to review, and you could I could show you the video. Some guy's getting shot in the leg.
Well, at least it wasn't in Waukegan.
No. Yeah.
We dodged that bullet. Ooh.
So she pulls up, and it takes a while to get out of her car, and I'm just like, the hell's going on here? Why is she taking so long? And then she gets, me and my friend are sitting there, and we're like, no. She comes on crutches, right?
Wow.
She still had the thing from the hospital on her wrist. Yeah, like, and I was like,
wow, she was into you.
Yeah, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, and I was like, there's one way I can't not.
You got
have
to
sex with her. Yeah.
So you had sex with her, and then the question is, did she come to a show ever again?
I believe so. I'm trying to remember.
But you only had sex with her once?
No.
Oh, multiple times?
Yeah, so this is somebody I would
Okay.
sleep with, and I messaged her to come over, and she would come over, but not in crutches, you know what I mean? And then she was in a motorcycle accident that day, she told me, dropped the bike.
Wow.
Yeah, so she was like, and I remember, like, I I only took one pant leg off. The other one I had to leave on and just roll it above the cast thing or whatever they put on one of her legs.
Okay.
So one I took off, and the other one I rolled down to like right above her knee, and then I had sex with her. And it was kind of surreal.
How'd you get her? Did she have underwear on? Because how'd you get that down?
I think I just rolled it down to where the knee was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it's funny because a year or two later, I saw her. So I have two sisters, but one of one's a regular sister. She's 28. The other one, Scarlett, who's 15 or 16 or 14. She's a sister, but I kind of help raise her because my dad got deported.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I would go to school things for her, right?
Yeah.
And I remember we went to like a recital. She was there with
no.
her kids, right? 'Cause she had kids.
Oh.
She already had kids, I think.
Wow.
And then she was also, I don't know if she was a surrogate, and she used to sell pop brownies.
Oh my gosh.
And she was kind of a hippie a little bit. And then,
Interesting.
it was very interesting. And I remember she was there, and I was with her man and their kids. This happened. I don't know. And this happened to me. Oh, you know what? This happened to me 2 days ago. I went to my other niece, her dad's, like I told you, he's like in jail. When he wasn't in jail, I think he wasn't around the picture anyways. So they had over here at, is it Clearview, I think? They had a father-daughter dance. So I took my niece. Oh, wait, that's a different thing. Anyways, that's a different thing. I'm talking. So Wednesday, me and my niece went to a baptism class to be a godfather. So me and my sister went for my niece, and me and my sister are sitting there, and this girl walks in that stopped talking to me a few years ago because I sent her a dick pic. And she's there with her husband, and she sees me, and I see her. It's like there's no way she doesn't remember, because we were talking for a little bit, and I go over to Evan. I was like, dude, that girl right there, she stopped talking to me a few years ago because I sent her a dick pic, and I was like, because she was like,
why would you send her a dick?
Well, this was at that age where, so I had one stock dick pic I would send.
Oh
I took a photo shoot once, and I was like, this is the best angle, this is the best lighting, this looks the biggest. So I had that saved. So then usually what happened is there's a few girls that I'd be talking to, and it'd be in the conversation.
And they'd want one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or something like that. Well, I learned, because I have a bit about this. The first dick pic I sent to a girl, I sent a flaccid one, and she messaged me back. She's like, it's supposed to be hard.
Well, it doesn't have to be, but
really,
you don't know if you're a grower.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But but why?
I don't.
It makes sense.
Get it.
I don't get it either, but I was doing it for a few,
for a few years, you were doing that,
like
sending
a year
them
and
to
a half.
people.
Yeah. Like there's a few girls that were like, what is this? Like, but they kind of understood I was not goofy, but a little bit. So they were like whatever, that's just Giovanni being Giovanni. But two girls specifically, they just stopped talking. And these are girls that we're hanging out with. We messed around, and then
you hadn't slept with.
I hadn't slept with.
And then you send the dick pic, and then
two of them,
they never talk to you.
No,
again.
two of them are like, how dare you? You're disrespectful. They happened twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I stopped sending after that. I was like, because I didn't get, like, when the first one got upset, and I was like, it didn't make sense to me. That I get, I'm a young child, and I'm like,
yeah, I've never. None of my friends. We just don't. That's not our age,
No,
I don't want to see it.
No, and
you do want to know if it's worth your time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because the first one was requested, right? So and then,
oh my gosh.
But that's the one I sent flaccid, and after that, I was like, oh, I'd basically get drunk, and I was like, I think she wants to see my dick. I convinced
she
myself.
Wants to. Yeah, of course.
And now, she has 2 kids. She's married.
You date a lot of women with kids.
I live in Waukegan, and I mean, Hispanic is Waukegan. I mean, that's what's around here.
Yeah.
But the girl I just met, she's not, but she's young though. She's 21.
Oh, dude, you're getting to that age where it's gonna be creepy.
Yeah, I don't like it, and I avoid it, but I think, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll hit her.
You
up.
never know. You never know.
We'll see. But I try. Yeah, so I'm trying to chill out on that. When you're older than me. I'm not gonna say your age because
I don't care. I'm almost 53.
Okay, I'm 30. I think I'm 35.
Yep.
84.
18 years difference. Wow.
Okay. That's a.
I could have been your mom.
Yeah. Actually, I'm Mexican. My grandma.
Oh,
that's done. That joke gets done a lot. But I started comedy in my opinion late. I started maybe late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, I started in my late 40s.
When did you always want to do it? Or
I always wanted to do it, and I remember in my 20s I was going to a wedding with this guy, and I said I wanted to do stand up, and he said, "Ooh, I've heard Funnier," and that stuck in my head.
Was it a white dude?
Yeah, it was a white dude.
It sounds like it. Okay.
Yeah, A dude that I tried to sleep with, and let's just say he couldn't get the oven preheated for me, so it didn't happen. Ha ha. And we're friends now. But anyways.
Okay.
So, but I lived in Guatemala, and then I lived in Vermont, and I went to grad school, and I met my husband, and we moved all over the country and overseas. So it was like all this other stuff kept coming up.
Okay.
And it just never happened until we got to Boston, and there's such a huge comedy scene there.
You've seen the documentary, right?
Huh?
You've seen the documentary about the old Boston comedy scene?
No.
Okay. I'll tell you in a little bit.
Okay, I'll see that. But I went to Improv Boston and did improv classes. I did like 3 of them.
I'm going to do one just to work a different muscle in my head.
Yes, try it. The first class is a blast. You're like an idiot. You're acting like a 5-year-old. It's fun. By the 3rd class, people were trying to be stars. So they'd like jump out in the scene too often. And you're like, dude, get the fuck off the stage, you know? And then I still wanted to do stand-up. They had a stand-up class because I needed the structure and stuff. So I did the class. And then I didn't perform
Boston,
for like
right?
6 months.
In
Yeah,
Boston, okay.
at Improv Boston.
Okay.
Then I took a second class with Kelly McFarland. She was on Last Comic Standing years ago.
That sounds...
And then my friend from the class and I started a show in Boston, a monthly show. And I just started doing, applying to festivals and doing more shows in Boston. And then we moved to Wisconsin for 6 months. So I did a couple shows in Wisconsin, and then we moved to Indiana now.
What's with all this moving? What do you guys do?
My husband's a professor.
Oh, okay.
So he's
just when he goes to a different school.
Yeah, he's worked at a bunch of different schools, and and now we'll be in Indiana, I'd say, for 10 years probably.
Okay.
The longest we've stayed anywhere was 8 years.
Okay.
That was in Boston.
Okay.
And then the people wore on him, so
The
Bostonians,
the accent, the attitude,
the accent, yeah, the attitude. They're gruff.
Yeah, they're
tough people. I found them a lot more likable than my husband did.
Yeah,
but because I'm blunt and I can be gruff.
Okay,
so.
Okay, yeah, I get the whole East Coast. Like at work.
Oh yeah.
Like at work, my boss, like when there's a complaint or somebody, or maybe someone's not bitching, a customer, my owner's like, East Coast, right? Like, and because I call, all over the states. I'm like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, East Coast are always like.
I know they say the
bite.
further west you go in the country, the nicer the people get. That's what I was saying. I heard years ago.
So yeah, this is how I feel. I think it's the South. The people are nice. The South is integrated, which is pretty cool. Like I forget when I go down there how segregated Chicago is.
Yeah, it is.
It's super because like down there, I was just down there, and every time I go to the Carolinas, I've been there in a few years. I notice like you go to restaurants, there's black families there. Everything's mixed. Black professionals, white, everything is mixed up. Versus when you come up here, like you got the South Side, you got the North Side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like I forget the South is very integrated. People are nicer. They do. It is kind of weird hearing so many people say y'all. That's a little bit.
Every time I hear that accent, though, like
y'all.
Whenever I hear the accent, I just think of the Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Who would say y'all in Bugs Bunny?
Not y'all, but that's
y'all.
They did a whole bit where Bugs Bunny dressed up. They did the Hatfields and the McCoys, I think, and Bugs Bunny was dressed up as a chick or something. And wasn't it Elmer Fudd thought she was hot? Wasn't that it or something?
Maybe.
Or no, he has like there's a Hatfield and a McCoy fight, and Bugs Bunny gets in the middle and tries to get them fighting with each other.
Who were the original Hatfield McCoys? I remember this.
It's somewhere in the South. I don't know.
That's all. Rivaling family or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Montiel.
It's just it's funny though. It's like I didn't realize that Southerners hated Yankees so much. Like I didn't realize that
like
growing
Northerners
up.
or East Coast Northerners.
I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know if there's a difference, but I just remember seeing a real world back in the day in San Diego, and the girl was from the Carolinas and said, he's cute for a Yankee. He's actually nice for a Yankee. And I was like, they actually think that?
Yeah. I would think. I would think maybe they feel like the East Coast, whatever, that New England, East Coast area, they feel might be a little bit elitist. Because people do talk down at the South. You know what I mean?
Oh,
they
yeah. I mean, there's
them like
stereotypes.
Dumb, yokos, things like that. And I feel we're a little bit different in the Midwest. Like, the Midwest is like, it's warm. People are pretty nice here compared to like, let's say when I go to LA, like people, or Miami, because I go to Miami a lot and sometimes I go to LA. It's not like, there's certain parts where there's a more chilled back attitude because you're in a nicer area. But like in LA, for example, like the businesses there, people are very like, or Miami, people are like, they're a lot ruder.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go down, let's say to Texas, like I go to South Texas sometimes. What I like about the Midwest is people here are nice, but they're not. I don't want to say lazy. They're not laid back. Like things get done. Versus you go to the South, and you go to stores and things. It's a very slow, and and it's like over here. It's like people are getting. It's like
it's a nice balance. You mean?
Yeah, it's a nice balance. And people are kind of nice but people are still kind of on the go and getting things done. Versus like, have you been to islands?
No.
The island time is horrible. Like restaurants, everything it takes to order, you got to order. You wait. It takes 45. Everything, people like in islands, it takes forever, and they're on island time, and it takes like island time. It takes forever to get food or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the worst. I personally can't stand because, like I said, I'm always going.
Yeah, you sure are.
Yeah. I'm always going now. So when I go to, it kind of gives me anxiety sometimes because it's like I'm used to. There's times I can relax. Like now, I can relax in airports.
Yeah, maybe you need to meditate.
I was thinking about maybe. I meditated once 4 years ago.
Well,
I had an app, right? And I did it. First I did it without the app, and then I did it with the guided meditation app.
Uh-huh.
But I haven't done that. I went walk in place. I ran. I used to run. When it'd be too much, I'd go for runs.
Okay.
Or things like that.
I should meditate, but I don't. My husband does when he gets stressed. If he gets too stressed, he'll start meditating and stuff.
He has his own. Does he do a specific type of?
I don't even know what he does.
It?
He just goes in another room and maybe lights a candle or just has quiet time and just sits there. I have no idea because I've never meditated with him.
How do you relax?
How do I relax?
Do you
Working out.
Yeah,
I like to work out.
Work out.
Yeah. Hang out, watch TV. I don't know.
I don't do. I don't watch TV.
I don't think I get that stressed for the most part. I don't know. Yeah, I don't feel. I
like. This is a new thing I like airports. Like
I love watching people.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if there's an argument, like if someone's bitching at somebody at a desk, I slowly walk over and I will sit my ass down there and listen to the whole conversation. I love that.
I love airports, dude.
I do too.
I love different people.
Oh yeah, thinking about where they're going. I love seeing how they're dressed. Like you get some of these women that wear spiked heels, tight jeans, and they're going to be on a plane for hours.
Yeah, you got to take your shoes off.
Yeah, and then you have people in slippers and pajama pants. I saw a dude, I kid you not, coming back from Europe a couple of years ago. He was in his 30s. He had a goddamn onesie on in the plane. A full onesie, and the zipper was like really big, and it was right where his dick is.
I think.
You what?
I think I'd throw my water bottle at him. Really?
He was with his girlfriend too, and
What
she
kind of
let him on the
onesie?
plane like that.
What color was this? It was like.
What color was
this around
he?
the Christmassy? No, the onesie was it?
It was a white onesie.
Really?
Yeah, and he looked like a dumbass. I just kept staring at him. I had to whisper to my husband and the guy next to my husband about it, and we were all laughing about it. It's like, how did that girl let him out of the house like that? Like, it was frightening.
But I feel like nowadays I see everybody wears whatever, and I'm kind of comfortable, but like I see a lot of adult men with hats with creatures on them, right?
Creatures?
Those winter hats, right? Like maybe like a Pikachu hat or something. Adult men.
God, I don't want
How do
to
you
see
feel about
that.
that? No?
I can't. The furries thing and wearing animal stuff and the ears on the hats and all that. I cannot get into
like
that.
there was a girl wearing it, but she's probably 8 years old. At the father-daughter
That's cute.
dance. Yeah.
That's cute.
Somewhat to me. I don't know. I still get a little bit bothered with it. I think certain occasions okay, but like regular gear.
Yeah.
Like you go to the, I don't know, not the mall, but like you'll see people now in
No
public.
one goes to the mall anymore.
Yeah, I gotta go next month. Yeah, or
so to the
weeks.
mall once a month, sex once a month.
No, because my niece wants to go to the mall, and I was like,
Which one, Gurney Mills?
I think Gurney Mills,
God.
the Mills. Well, was
I
the
grew up with
Belvedere Mall?
Lakehurst.
Was it? Oh, I went to Lakehurst.
Belvedere was in Waukegan when I was
it
growing
always?
up.
What was Belvedere Mall like? So okay,
See, I didn't. Belvedere was like the shittier version of Lakehurst.
okay, all right.
And my family didn't.
It wasn't
do
like
Belvedere.
a swap meet. Yeah, so but
It was not a swap meet. It was a regular mall. Montgomery Wards, which
There
is
was a
no
Montgomery
longer
Wards there?
in existence, was there. And then they had a couple diners. They had a movie theater we used to go to once in a while there,
They
but
had
it
one.
was
I went to it.
dumpy.
It was so like okay now Waukegan listeners, Waukegan has a mall called the Belvedere Mall. Now it's basically like a Mexican swap
it's like
shop,
a flea market or
like
something,
a flea
right?
market. Yeah, it's flea market, and that one store across the chicken place has probably the best. corn. I'd say if you want to get corn, I get it there. The corn in the cup, the Mexican corn. I go to that.
With the
little
cream on it and
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah, the cream and
cheese
mayonnaise.
yeah,
You
I'm
don't
not
like corn?
into it.
No.
No, I can't do that. But we used to hang out at Lakehurst. I used to work out there in high school. That was the place.
They had a Montgomery Wards.
No, it did not.
It was no, it was
had a Carson Peary Scott.
Had a car. I
it
bought
had a
Tommy.
Weebolt's. Weebolt's was where I used to work. It was an old lady. It was like an old lady department store.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was god awful. It was god awful. And I think those were the two big anchors at the time. That was it. And then
I bought jeans. I made my mom buy me $70 Tommy Hilfiger jeans like in middle school.
So Lakehurst was open when you were a kid?
Yeah, Lakehurst, it was on its not last leg, but kind of like maybe a year after there was like a little less. I used to go. There's a place, I don't know if it's over in Gurnee now. It's called Belvedere Blues, where it was all this ghetto, like FUBU and all this ghetto.
I don't know that one.
Gear. Yeah. So Belvedere, there's a place called, because when in my age, in middle school, I was really into buying Jinko. Well, me, I wanted to get Jinko jeans. So Belvedere
never
Blues.
even heard of those.
Those are the oversized giant jeans that I wore during my and it was like my mom didn't want me to get me anything that was too bad because she thought it meant I'm in a gang or I'd be in a gang, and it's like I don't know. I just wanted to, I don't know.
I had the designer
cool.
jeans. That was popular when I was in junior high, and I begged my mom.
What's a designer jean?
Calvin Klein, Gloria Vanderbilt, Jordache.
Jordache.
I got Calvin Kleins. I wore those things as much as possible till I wore a hole in them. I thought I was so badass with those Calvin Kleins. They were so stupid. That was our thing in junior high. But
I wore Calvin Klein underwear.
Thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, I used to wear fruit, but I try to step my game and get, I guess, nicer underwear. I don't know. I think they're nicer.
Just don't do the whitey tighties. Do like the boxer briefs.
I do only do boxer briefs.
I like boxer briefs. With colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Black. I'll do colors.
Hey,
are great.
a nice bikini on a guy, bikini underwear on a guy, like Speedo type.
I don't know.
I
used to wear as a kid. I wore so at the
and
pool.
As a kid,
my mom. I didn't know because my mom would buy the clothes and dress me, so she'd give me. I'd have. Not tighty-ities, but I have the bikini underwear, the colored ones. That was my underwear as a kid. I didn't discover.
Is that a Mexican thing here?
I'm
because
assuming,
that's a European thing.
I'm assuming
sure.
That's what that was.
Okay.
And then at the pool, I'd have Speedy underwear. I thought it was normal. So I remember I'd be at the swimming pool. Yeah, and I guess Speedos or something like that. I didn't have boxer shorts or what is it called?
Boxer briefs?
Not briefs. Whatever those shorts that people wear to pools. Swim trunks.
I didn't
have swim trunks.
Yeah.
It was just
Speedo.
Speedo, and I thought that was normal, and I had that for a few years. I was a kid with boxer briefs because, like I said, my mom would dress me, and then we'd have these Jinko fights.
Hey, I had the day of the week underwear back in the 70s.
What the hell is that?
It had the day of the week like embroidered on it. I don't know if it was supposed to.
Is this a thing? So
that was a thing in the 70s. Like, I guess you were supposed to make sure that you changed your underwear every day, so they put the day of the week on it. It was weird.
Hey, that's not a bad idea for certain people.
I mean, when you're 6 or whatever, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, so
I still remember that.
I never heard of this.
Day
of the week
it was the thing. It was the thing. Go figure.
Some of my friends who listen to this will probably recommend it for me, but I change my underwear. All right, there might be days I might not shower if it's really cold, or I wake up late and I won't shower the next day. But I always change my underwear.
Good for you.
Some of my friends, they'll tease me.
The ladies are glad to hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
And if ask Giovanni if he's had his sex for the month, and if he hasn't, you might be the
lucky
lucky
we in March?
lady.
March. Right now?
Not yet. No, it's still February. You've had it.
So
you're done with February?
I had it. Oh, this is my ADD kicking in. So, like I said, handicap. I had sex with a handicap.
Oh, another one.
No, so this is because, I brought up I had sex with my handicap friend.
Yeah.
And then, and you asked me if it was a Theo Von thing. I was like, no. So I told you about the chick with the colostomy bag or whatever it was. And I told you about the chick
with the crutches.
So this is the one that just had this. I didn't know she was handicapped. So like after I finished, I started like noticing things. Like,
okay, what was it that she
was a scar on her lower back, and I was like, what is that? And then she's like, oh, well, I kind of have a battery in there. And I was like, what do you mean? She had a pacemaker, right? Because she went to the Renaissance Fair. Did I talk about this in the last podcast? Who cares?
Wait, a pacemaker is for your heart.
It's like a pacemaker in her lower back because she went to the Renaissance Fair here at Bristol Renaissance Fair.
One in Bristol, yeah.
Yeah, one in Bristol. Do you have a story?
I've never been there.
Oh,
I've never been there. I can't get into that stuff.
And then she just fell. I guess.
Ooh,
I don't know.
Broke her back?
And she fell and hyperextended her knee It tore an ACL and it tore some artery or something, some damage some arteries, some important artery. Like I said, we're not doctors.
Obviously.
Like you said, yeah. And so she had to have a pacemaker put in there. Like, and then it kind of made sense, right? It had one of those moments, like, like the Memento movie, like, oh, because earlier she was like, no, I can't get on top. And I just thought she was lazy because she was half Puerto Rican. But
you and the Puerto Ricans, Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans,
Yeah,
I tell you. But a pacemaker doesn't make any sense.
or something that pushes the blood.
Oh,
or maybe that's her description of pacemaker to me. But basically, there's something in there that's pushing blood.
It's pushing blood
or doing something like that. But it's
not
in her
stimulating
lower back.
nerves or something.
Yeah, or something like that. I'm not whatever it's doing. I don't
know
what
if
it
you
does.
call that. She's not handicapped
Well, the reason I call her handicap is
because she wouldn't get on top.
No. Because so in the morning, I'm trying to sneak her out of my. It's my house with my roommate, but his mom and his lady come and clean our house. We pay them though. They do. They clean houses.
Okay.
They clean houses, so we pay
you
them.
pay them.
I
Okay.
tell my buddy
Good.
$20. All right. Yeah, I can sell them.
So you want her to get out before the cleaning lady.
So
friend.
what I want to do is they're going to be cleaning for a while, and I'm kind of waiting. But it's like at the same time, I was like, I want this lady at my house. I want to go home, or I am home, but it's my time now. All right, it's over. So, and I'm like, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure she does her stuff. I'm gonna walk her out, but I'm gonna walk in front of her, right? So my lady, or at least doesn't get look at her. I don't know. She's a little bigger, but anyways, and I'm trying to block her, but then she's behind me. I was like, oh, this is working. I'm in front. This is good. This is good. She takes a right turn to the kitchen behind me, and I was like, where's she going? I was like, she ruined my plan. She left something in the freezer and and I was like, fuck, because I thought I had all her stuff, but I would have got it earlier, but then no. And then so I'm walking her. It doesn't. She's seen now. It's like whatever. So I take her downstairs, and then I open my garage door to let her out.
Yeah.
And I open it, and I see her car. And she has a handicap sticker hanging from it. You know what I mean? So
maybe because she can't walk much.
So yeah, so
damage.
she is technically legally handicapped.
Okay,
You know what
I
mean?
guess you
So-
get. Hey, everybody's got a thing.
Yeah.
So I guess
And then
your thing is
It's
women
not.
with kids
It's oh wait, yeah,
sending
Not
flaccid
anymore.
dick pics
That was my
and
first one.
handicapped women.
and handicapped. There's just 3. I mean, temporary or. But
Do you
that's
keep count of how many people you slept with?
I used to have a. I found it in an old Hotmail email. I had a list.
With names and everything?
Yeah, and I found it, and I had my friends list because he sent it to me because he had a girlfriend or something,
you
so I
guys
had
are
it
weird.
hidden. But no, I stopped keeping count.
Yeah, my husband and I fessed up to our numbers before we got together.
Oh really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because a friend of mine said he was a playboy and stuff, so I just want to make sure how much of a playboy. We had similar numbers, so it wasn't a big deal.
Oh, okay. No, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like I don't. If I'm.
You don't want to look at it?
I don't want to know.
You don't want to know about her?
Yeah, I don't want to know
Okay.
about her. And hopefully, if they ask me, they have a regular number. I don't know what my number's at.
Okay.
But
I wasn't going to put you on the spot and tell you, make you tell the number. I was just curious.
I'll be honest with you. I have a regular number when it comes to regular women, and I have a high number because there was a few years of my life where I was a John. And I had sex with a lot of prostitutes. A lot. Probably 60.
Hey, I think
like
it should be. I think it should be legal. I think a person should have a right to do it.
Yeah, I think.
But in the situation it is now, you find a lot of people that are doing it, not for healthy reasons.
Yeah, so it's like they should, but I don't think they're going to legalize it. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, they're legalizing pot. I
don't think it's on their list.
Yeah.
But even I think it'd help a lot with as far as all the trafficking stuff. But
it might help. I think for people to have control over the money and their choices.
Yeah.
But I used to do sexual assault survivor phone crisis stuff here in Waukegan, and boy, when you see the statistics on the number of people that go into it for who have been abused as kids, it's high.
Like porn stars stuff too.
It's high.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're not a John anymore.
No.
Yeah.
I was a John for a few years, and then I got it's a Mexican dude got me into it. I was a caddy. I was a young caddy, and he's like, "Hey,
you need to do this."
No, like there's a prostitute, a whorehouse. I was like, no, and I'm a little kid
In Waukegan.
Was it outside of Waukegan? I don't know if it was Waukegan, North Chicago, but I was like maybe early. I was young. I was maybe 21, 22.
Wow.
And I was like, no. And I was like, and I went. And I remember the first time I was like, oh, that was weird. I was really like,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, and the second time I was like, whatever. And then I took a 6-year-old kid and he lost virginity to a prostitute.
A 6-year-old?
16,
Oh,
16,
Jesus, I thought you
16,
said
16.
6. You scared me.
And then he would hit me up. He's like, "Hey, Giovanni, can we go back?" I was like, "No, I don't go." He was like, and I was like, I think I opened up Pandora's box with that
Yeah,
kid.
yeah.
But-
Okay, next topic on your list.
Yeah. Actually,
This is depressing.
yeah,
me.
it was depressing, but it's over. But they just did a bust. Did you see it the other day?
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
okay. No, they just did a bust. Waukegan released all the names and pictures of all the Johns.
That's what they should be doing.
Every
Don't put the prostitutes up there.
No,
put
it's
the
all the
Johns up.
Johns.
That's what it should be.
Because my one friend, she knew. She texted me. He's like, "Oh, I'm glad it wasn't." He was like, "No, I don't do that stuff anymore." But we are okay. Let's do some. We're getting close to the end. Let's do some plugs. So some
Okay.
plugs.
Some plugs.
And
okay.
I'll plug some plugs. So yesterday, what I'll do is, this is not going to come out actually till Monday, but I'll release about the show tonight on Facebook.
Okay,
my
thank
page.
you.
Hopefully, we'll see. I
Okay.
should, because I am doing ecstasy in a few hours. But I think it'll wear off because I got to fight. Anyways, so tonight I'll put this up.
Okay.
Are you okay? So what shows?
So
okay,
the
do your
next show,
plugs. Go ahead.
the next show that the Waukegan Comedy Jam is helping to present is the Baby Horchata show that you happen to be on.
I'm on that one.
And that's going to be at Three Brothers Theater, downtown Waukegan, Friday, April 17th.
Friday, April 17th. Okay, so I'll add the link in there, and I'm gonna have Baby Horchata on soon. What month are we in?
We're in February.
Okay, so probably have him soon to promote it because
Yeah.
I already contacted him. And
my biggest personal news is that maybe you saw this on Facebook, that I'm going to be one of the openers for Chris Kattan when he comes to Lafayette, Indiana.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You guys have a club there, or is it a theater?
It's at a theater, some theater, Carnahan Hall. I've never been to it, but he's coming, and you should hook up with this company, Mad Hatter Shows. They do
Mad
shows
Hatter.
throughout the Midwest. So the guy asked me he's like, "Oh, you want to do a local show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. I don't get to I don't have to travel for once." And then he told me who it was for, and I was like, "Oh my God." So I guess Chris Kattan is doing this whole Chris Kattan and Friends tour, and I get to be one of the openers for him. So I'm super nervous and super excited.
Oh, that's good. That's pretty cool. Do I have any plug anymore? Do you have any more plugs? Your social media. What's your social media?
My social media. Oh, follow me on Twitter at Kristin Carnes 2. KristinCarnes 2. That's my Twitter.
The
follow
number
me on
2
Twitter.
or the
Huh?
The number 2?
Number 2. Yeah, the
Why
number
2?
2. That's what they assigned me. There
Oh.
must be another Kristin Carnes.
That's why I have a Lobo 9110. I tried to do Lobo when I was like in 8th grade on AOL.
AOL.
And it gave me the dial-up or whatever.
Oh,
the dial-up.
God, you
chat
remember
rooms.
that?
Well, yeah,
Man.
that was my first internet with this
Yeah,
IBM laptop
mine too.
that we got sold on. My parents, they sold us the most expensive one at CompUSA or something.
Nice.
We didn't know any better.
Oh, they're out of business, those
Yeah,
bastards.
yeah, the CD-ROM. Okay, so what about Instagram?
I'm not on I know I'm old. I'm not on Instagram. I'm
The
on
Jam
Face.
is all right.
Huh?
The Jam's on there or something.
Oh,
Was there
I
something?
think
Or
I
no?
know
Okay, no
Three
Instagram.
Brothers is and stuff,
Okay.
but I just never got into it. Twitter's not good for promotion. It seems like
Okay.
I'm on there. I'd just like to network with other comedians on there. Facebook, I wouldn't follow me on Facebook, but follow me on Twitter. That's probably the
on
best.
Twitter, Kristin Carnes and the letter 2. Godness. I'm on Twitter. It's Lobo9110, LOBO910. Instagram, the same thing. Facebook, the same thing. Or Giovanni, JHOVANY with an H because my parents are Mexican and couldn't spell, and they sounded out phonetically in the hospital. So that's why.
That's
like,
why, because I was looking at going, it's got to be Giovanni. I'm
No,
like, why is he
no.
saying Giovanni?
It's just Mexicans can't spell. When you see a Yenny with a Y, that's them. The Mexican parents to be like Yenny. They're just they just put a Y down. They're just sounding it out. They don't know how to spell. And then what am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, like and subscribe to the podcast. And if you are a fan and you want a decal, DM me your address. I'll send you a decal. Do you want a decal? I'll give you a decal. And then
Decal, no dick pic, thanks.
decal, no dick pic. And then I like that. I think that's it. Okay, that's it. I think nothing else. Do I have shows coming up? Fuck, I'll put it in post. I'm supposed to do this. I have a show next week. Fuck, with Sean Dippington. I'm sorry, Sean. I'll put it up. I'll put in the links. It's in somewhere on Friday. All right, thank you.
Ciao, ciao. Adios.
Lobo them, Lobo them, Lobo them. Lobo them, Lobo them, Lobo them.